As a Christian, God did not wash away your brain. He really washed away your sins.
Being a Christian does not mean you can't have sex with your wife in the car.
Really?
Yeah.
For me, every problem either has a solution or it's not a problem.
Money is made by man. So how do I get money? I get money from men.
Hamza, what did you do last night?
So lately, I've really been thinking about like what is one's purpose in life. I've read many books, listened to many sermons, but they just make me more confused than I was before I even started. I'm trying to now think, okay, I don't know how to sing, or maybe I'm supposed to learn how to sing, and then that's my purpose. So I don't know what you would consider to be like a purpose. Does it have to be like a Christian's purpose, like has to do with like serving, or is there more like a purpose that is more business facing? I really have no idea. I don't know if you guys have like experiences regarding that.
It's actually really confusing, especially when you're trying to see that is it linked to my Christian journey, or is it, or do I separate my, okay,
Your
maybe
career.
I'm called to be an apostle and I'm called to be a doctor. Like, is it separate or is it together?
And is even being a doctor a calling? I don't get it. Is it a career or a profession? I don't understand.
I remember when I was young, my brothers already knew what they wanted to do. Like from like secondary school, but I never knew. Like I never said this is what I wanted to. My parents asked me, "Do you want to be a doctor?" I'm like, "No." "Do you want to be an accountant?" I'm like, "No." "Lawyer?" "No." I couldn't place anything. Like I did not understand. So what I noticed was that I think I don't know. Like personally, I just think that what happens to you as you grow begins to shape. Because now I'm in the tourism and hospitality industry. Obviously, I was not going to know that when I was 8, 9, 10. Because it's just, but I just realized that things started, and I started finding my interest and everything. But now I'm with you on that one. I don't really understand.
And what that, I think purpose is multi-dimensional. Most of the time, I think when we go to churches sometimes, or in the circle of Christianity, when they are talking about purpose, it's like, God has said something. Once you just miss it, you have, in fact, there's no hope for you, right? You should be flexible, right? They are different. There's the purpose part for if you're a professional. There's the purpose part in the kingdom. So don't just look at purpose in, I know like people like, just a hard and fast rule. This is it, that's all. No, it's dynamic. So you have your purpose, what you need to fulfill from a kingdom agenda perspective. You have a purpose also in, like some of my friends, I call them apostle in the marketplace, right? You have a purpose to fulfill in the marketplace or whatever giftings that you may have. So you should not be the major thing is not to be too dogmatic about it and be flexible and know that God has a purpose for you it could be in, your church or the family that you have, as well as also in your profession, right? So in that way, you begin to, be more flexible around it, right? I don't know if there's still...
No, I have more questions based on that. So from what I get, it can be two, right? Some people's whole career can be, like, for example, if the person is a pastor and that's all they do, it is 2 in 1. It's their career and it's their purpose in God as well. Yeah. So how do you even find, for career, it can be a little bit easier to find out what your career is. And again, people can have the flexibility to always change. But for your career, for your purpose in God's will for your life, right? How do you even find that?
Yeah, I think the first step is to understand that I believe, like they say, success is not a destination, right? It's a journey, right? Your purpose will find different dimensions per time. So don't try to figure it all out like where you are now, right? Okay. Like you were saying, at 8 years old, you will not know everything, and you cannot know that this is who I will be. And so don't try to bother. Sometimes we put a lot of pressure on ourselves, right? I'm trying to know everything. Where will I be in 20 years? Yes, it's good to have a vision, a 20-year vision, 10-year vision. If it's 5 or 10 years you can do as of now, just do the one you can do, right? What you're passionate about is your purpose. What you get angry about is your purpose, where you don't like something and you want to change it. Yeah, so it's as sometimes as simple as that, right? So even for me, I remember as a young minister, I was always, I knew about the 5 offices: apostle, prophet, pastor. So I was always thinking, am I apostle? Tomorrow I'm prophet. Tomorrow, and then one pastor just came and said, see, don't just go and preach the gospel and be all right. That's just start from there. Right?
Okay. So I just want to be clear. Yeah. So what we're saying is that the purpose itself, like maybe career-wise, is not spiritual. It's something that maybe is shaped from your experiences, what you studied, or opportunities. Then you just stay there and do your best in that area, and it can change. But for the spiritual one,
well, I don't want to agree that it's not spiritual.
Okay.
Because I was going to agree.
There's God.
There's God in it.
It's God that gave you those gifts, but it's not spiritual. Maybe you are talking about it's not in the church, the 4 walls of a church, right?
So what happens? So when you become a pastor or apostle or prophet, is that a purpose too, or is just
a calling?
Or it just happens.
Calling the purpose.
Because generally, I feel like maybe we're all called to ministry, but some people will be pastors, some of us won't.
Mm-hmm. Like the apostle in the marketplace, like you mentioned.
But how? It's just really because I think the pressure is a lot. Like everyone is acting like. So I found my purpose in God, and I realized that I was taking my purpose into the event industry to change.
So I had to bring it from the world into
like
God.
What is God's desire for our purpose? Like as individuals.
I think it's that the merger between, church and world, right?
Yeah.
And that's why it has to be personal. It has to be personal, and do not put any pressure on yourself. Some people I believe strongly that there is something that each person as a Christian is supposed to do within the body of Christ.
Right.
That in particular, that's the 4 walls of the church or the church as an organization. But as a person, everybody will not be a pastor, everybody will not be an apostle. And God has a plan for those people as well outside the church. And it is spiritual. What I mean by it is spiritual, meaning it's God that is giving those gifts, those talents, the convictions to go into that particular department or field.
So there was a point you made about some people being in a hurry. So isn't it fair to be in a hurry to find your purpose? And on the flip side, there are many people that have, for example, you don't know God at all, you're not interested. Okay. And if God says that everybody has a purpose, can somebody actually miss their purpose and never fulfill it? Can also, if, for example, the person knows their purpose, but decides not to do anything and comes to their senses at maybe 60 or 70, is it too late? Can you miss your purpose? Should you be in a hurry to find it? I don't know. Toby seems like she's deep in thoughts.
No, let him speak.
Okay. Well, I think what you're saying though is like some people beyond just even spiritual purpose concept, right? Some people have, done some evil things and they have been so deep in those things, like probably somebody has been in prison for a while, just came out. Does he have any chance at life again of fulfilling purpose and fulfilling God's plan? I strongly believe that there is no lost cause, really. At the end of the day, many people, I know pastors that have been drug addicts and have changed their lives, and they have become blessings to themselves, their family, and even their environment, society.
I also think it's a self thing. And I mean, like, Paul in the Bible was a lost cause. At some point, like, he was somebody you would not want to even associate with. He was a murderer. But look at him now. He has written, like, almost all the
major part of the
New Testament, which we used to study now. And so, but one thing I would say is I think also is also people understanding that when they get to that stage, maybe they can open up, and like when they're given an opportunity for change, because like I was saying, Paul was given an opportunity. And
he took it.
He took it. I mean, once you have the opportunity, and I think it's just starting to open up, then opportunities will come to you. Then you can. I don't know about the age thing. Once you're lost hope at 60,
there's that saying that a fool at 40 is a fool at
Wow.
I don't think that works, right? But you can still recover.
Yeah, I feel hope.
I was just thinking, based on what you said, and I think it just made me understand a little bit more. Even in your running away, I believe there's a purpose to that as well. Because when I think about people that have experienced, the people that Christians really relate to, people that have been through things. So I think even in that running away, that gives you an opportunity to bring in more people that have faced that are facing what you faced.
That's
so
right.
Even in that, I would definitely say that there's purpose to your pain.
Already, yeah. With God, obviously, we say God has a second chance for you, third chance. You're not a lost cause. But if we are the ones in a situation where, I mean, not probably us, but maybe a child, for example, I know pastors have had to deal with this. Their child, a young teenager, maybe their pastors, their young teenage daughter gets pregnant before marriage, out of wedlock. Are we in positions where we actually, as a society and as church, as an organization, do we give people that second chance, or we have actually tagged them as the lost cause, all right?
I mean, we found the word.
Yes, yeah.
I believe people even think that they're a lost cause, mainly because of the religious people around them, right? Because people that they judge so much that people find it difficult to come. So I know that there are some churches now some churches where if you have a tattoo, you can't come. Where does that person go? So people that don't, for example, you are homeless, you don't look, and some churches that believe in you looking looking to the nines to come to church, and the person is hearing the sound, hearing your worship, and they come in. Where does that person have a space? So I think it is our responsibility to welcome everybody, even if you believe the person is going to turn back tomorrow. It is your responsibility to give them that. Just like God gives us a chance every time to keep doing that and keep bringing people in.
I think that it's like we just need to get to that stage where we can position our hearts like Christ.
So there's no lost cause.
There's no lost cause.
No one is lost.
No lost cause. Jesus finds every lost coin and lost sheep.
Yes, well said.